Shalom, brothers and sisters. My name is Mike Allah, and I'm coming to you representing gatherers of the elect. And today I'm going to give y'all a lesson on the Sabbath, about the Sabbath. You know, is it Sunday or is it Saturday? Today, many Christians, Sunday has become the primary worship day for the Most High. So we're going to go through the scriptures and see if Sunday is the new day of the Lord, or is it still Saturday, which is the Sabbath. And I'm also going to read a little bit of history to see when did Sunday worship become instituted. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. Let's start in Exodus chapter 20, starting at verse 8. And it reads, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that them is, and rested the seventh day, whereof the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it." Alright, so right here we just read out of the law where Moses instituted the Sabbath, and he gave a little bit of understanding of what we're supposed to do. It's the day of rest. And it says 6 days shall we labor, and the seventh day shall we rest. Let's see when did it first become instituted, because a lot of people say that we no longer have to follow the Sabbath anymore because that was the law of Moses, and they claim that the law of Moses is done away with. But let's see exactly when was the Sabbath first instituted. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Keep moving my Bible over here. Genesis chapter 2, starting at verse 1. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day the Most High ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And the Most High blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which the Most High created and made." Alright, so we see that in the beginning, after the Most High created everything, before Moses was even on earth, the Most High sanctified the seventh day of the week. Now, if you look at a calendar, it's clear that Saturday is the seventh day of the week, and not Sunday, what many people believe today. Sunday is the first day of the week. Alright, so with the understanding of creation, in Genesis chapter 1, we understand that the day actually begins in the evening time when the sun goes down. And we get that understanding starting with Genesis 1 and 5, and it says, "And the Most High called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day." So darkness was first, and then it was morning. So with that understanding, the Sabbath actually begins Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Alright, so we got that understanding. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23 and get a little bit of understanding on the Sabbath. Let's see, Leviticus chapter 23. Let's start at verse 3. And it says, 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings." So this gives us more understanding on what we're supposed to do on the Sabbath. It's a day of rest. We're not supposed to do any work therein, and it's a holy convocation. A holy convocation is basically what many Christians do on Sunday mornings. They gather and worship the Most High. So on the Sabbath, which is Saturday morning, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So Saturday morning is when you get together and you have a holy convocation and you worship the Most High. That is truly the day of the Most High, the day of the Lord. And it says, in the end of this verse, it says, "It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings." Many people believe that since we're not in Jerusalem, in our holy land anymore, then we no longer have to, we're not able to keep the Sabbath or follow any of the holy days. But it says in all your dwellings. So no matter where you live, you're still supposed to keep the Sabbath and follow the holy days. And let's read here in verse 21. And let's see if, in fact, the Sabbath is done away with. Leviticus 23 and 21. It says, "And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day, that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute for you. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations." So right here it says, it shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. So, forever, that means it's not going to end. There's no end to it. And it says, in all your dwellings. So no matter where we are forever, then we are supposed to keep the Sabbath and the holy days. And it says, throughout your generations. So every generation that is following the Most High through these scriptures are supposed to keep the Sabbath and the holy days. So we're a generation today. So therefore, we are supposed to keep the Sabbath and the holy days. All right, let's read out of the book of Jubilees to see exactly what we're supposed to do on the Sabbath. And first, let me go to the Apocrypha. In my last video, I talked about the Apocrypha, stated that these books were in the original 1611 King James Bible, and that they should have never been taken out. Let's go to 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 14, and I'm going to start at verse 5, and it reads. Well, no, I'll start at verse 4, and it reads, "And I sent him." Well, this is the Most High talking to Esdras about Moses. And he said, "And I sent him, and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide." So as we see that the Most High has told Esdras that he told Moses to write some words to declare unto the children of Israel, and write some words or books to hide. No, the ones that he told him to declare, we can find those in our Bible today, under the first 5 books of the Bible, or the laws of Moses. But the ones that he told him to hide, they were later discovered in the book of Jubilees. Because let me see, trying to get it right. Y'all can see that. All right. Now don't pay attention to these images. These images they don't mean nothing. But anyway, the book of Jubilees. Jubilees is basically it deals with time. So as I just read in 2nd Esdras, he told Moses the secret of the times and the seasons. So throughout the book of Jubilees, it's dealing with all about the secrets of the times. past and future. Let's go to Jubilees chapter 50. And give me a second. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright, let's go to Jubilees chapter 50. Let's start at verse 6. And let's get a better understanding about how we're supposed to operate on the Sabbath. Jubilees chapter 50 verse 6. And it says, "And behold the commandments regarding the Sabbath. I have written them down for thee, and all the judgments of its laws. 6 days wilt thou labor, but on the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High your power. In it ye shall do no manner of work, ye and your sons, and your manservants, and your maidservants, and all your cattle, and the sojourner also who is with you." So everybody that is in the land supposed to keep the Sabbath, no matter if you're an Israelite or not. No, nobody is to do any work, any servile work for themselves on that day. Even your cattle is supposed to rest on that day. Alright, let's pick up at verse 8. And it says, "And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whoever desecrates that day, whoever lies with his wife, or whoever says, I will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling. And whoever draws water thereon, which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house shall die." So as we see that following the Sabbath was pretty serious. If you broke it, then you were stoned, you were put to death. I'm going to get into a little bit later that we have grace now, so we ain't got to worry about that. So it says that if we lie with our wife or sleep with our spouse, that we're not supposed to do that on the Sabbath. It says that we're not even supposed to take any long journeys on the Sabbath day. The only journey you should be taking is to a holy gathering, a holy convocation, to worship the Most High. And it says, we're not even supposed to buy or sell anything on that day. So you can't go shopping or go to a restaurant and buy any food or anything of that nature. Because by doing so, then you're causing others to work on that day. And it says that nobody's supposed to work on that day. If you're truly following the Most High. It also says that we're not supposed to draw water unless we prepared it the day before. But fortunately today, we ain't got to go out to the well and pump any water or anything, or go to the well and pull up any water. We have a sink. With faucet, all we have to do is just turn the knob. So, dealing with the times, you understand exactly what you're supposed to do and what you can't do. So you can go to the faucet and turn it on and get you some water. Let's see here. Let's pick up at verse 9. And it says, "Ye shall do no work whatever on the Sabbath day, save what ye have prepared for yourself on the 6th day, so as to eat and drink and rest and keep Sabbath from all work on that day, and to bless the Most High your power, who has given you a day of festival, and a holy day, and a day of the holy kingdom, for all Israel is this day among their days forever." So once again, we see that this day is forever. It's never ending. And it says that this day is a festival for the Most High. That day is supposed to be strictly dedicated to the Most High. We're supposed to meditate on Him, meditate on all the things that He's done for us, or spend that day reading His Word, reading His Holy Scriptures, and everything that we have for that day, we're supposed to have prepared the day before, or a few days beforehand, so that we don't have to do any work at all. We're supposed to rest on that day. All right, let's pick up at verse 10. It says, "For great is the honor which the Most High has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this festival day, and rest thereon from all labor which belongs to the labor of the children of men, save burning frankincense and bringing oblations and sacrifices before the Most High for days and for Sabbaths." So the only thing that was no lawful was for the priests to burn frankincense, and the people bring their sacrifices for the Most High, and the priests were the only ones allowed to really do any real work on that day. But as today, we have Christ for that. We no longer have to sacrifice anything. He is our sacrifice. All right, let's pick up at verse 11. It says, "This work alone shall be done on the Sabbath days in the sanctuary of the Most High your power, that they may atone for Israel with sacrifice continually from day to day, for a memorial well-pleasing before the Most High, and that he may receive them always from day to day, according as thou hast been commanded. And every man who does any work thereon, or goes a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, and whoever strikes or kills anything, or slaughters a beast or a bird, or whoever catches an animal, or a bird, or a fish, or whoever fasts or makes war on the Sabbath." So all those things that I just read in verse 12, we're not supposed to till our farm on that day. We're not supposed to light a fire on that day. Luckily we no longer have to do that. We have central dealing with the central air and all that stuff. We can just switch the knob and the heater come on to warm us. Or if you have to light a fire, then you do it the day before and you just keep it burning throughout the whole day. That's pretty much it. And it says, "or rides on any beast." Today that's your car. You're not supposed to get in your car or go journey anywhere on the Sabbath day, unless you're going to a holy convocation, a holy gathering to worship the Most High. And later on throughout this lesson, I'm going to give a little bit of understanding on grace as well. Let's see here. Travel by ship on the sea, strike or kill anything, or slaughter any beast or bird, or catch any animal or bird or a fish. And we're not even supposed to fast on that day. You're not supposed to set aside that day alone just to fast. But unless you are doing an extended day fast, for example, like Moses and Christ, they fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Then it's lawful to do so. All right, let's pick up at verse 13. It says, "The man who does any of these things on the Sabbath shall die, so that the children of Israel shall observe the Sabbaths according to the commandments regarding the Sabbaths of the land, as it is written in the tables, which he gave unto my hands, that I should write out for thee the laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the division of their days." So that was Moses talking. The Most High gave him all these commandments and laws to write down. All right. So now we have a little bit of understanding on when the Sabbath day is, and what we're supposed to do on the Sabbath. Let's well, before I go there, let's talk about this Babylon system that we're in today. They make it hard for us to really follow the Sabbath day and keep it holy. They make us work all throughout the week, and the only day that we really have to do any cleaning or any shopping is Saturday. And we can't do it Sunday because a lot of the stores are closed. You can't go shopping, and they make it so enticing to go out and break the Sabbath, to go shop and buy some things, because all of their best sales are on the Sabbath day. They did that on purpose. They know what they're doing. They know if they got the children of Israel away from following the Most High laws, statutes, and commandments, then they know that He won't protect them anymore. He won't protect us anymore. So that's why today that this system is set up the way it is, to get us, the children of Israel, to break the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, because we got to understand that this battle is not carnal, it's spiritual. And Satan knows what he's doing. He knows, he wants to destroy the children of Israel by any means necessary. All right. So let's go to Ezekiel to get the purpose of the Sabbath. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Whoops. Wait. All right. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 12. It says, "Moreover also I gave them my Sabbath to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Most High that sanctifies them." So the purpose for the Sabbaths and the holy days, which are also called Sabbaths, is to be a sign between us and the Most High, a sign that shows that we are following the Most High, the Creator of the universe, and to separate us from the world. That's how you know who are truly following the Most High, by keeping His Sabbaths. All right, let's see here. Let's touch on a little bit of history. Let's see exactly why and when the Sunday worship became instituted. All right, I'm going to read an article here for you guys, and this article is titled "Sunday, Christian or Pagan?" And I'm just going to read everything that I have highlighted throughout this whole article. I'm not going to read the whole article to you. And let's see here. It says, "The ancient origin of Sunday. Shortly after the flood, the ancient ruler Nimrod began to establish his despotic kingdom. He and his wife Ramesses introduced the apostate religious system known as the Babylonian Mysteries, from which all ancient and modern-day pagan religions originated." So, ancient and modern-day pagan religions originated in ancient Babylon. Started with Nimrod and his wife Ramesses. All right. It says, "Nimrod received man's worship under the guise of the sun or fire god and the sacred serpent. And the reason why he became associated with fire or sun is because he was a mighty warrior, and one of his main weapons was fire. So they associated him with fire and the sun. So they began to worship him as the sun god or fire god. And it says, as it appears, this appears to be the first form of idolatry that under the patronage of Nimrod appeared in the ancient world. So this was the first form of idolatry, of a man being worshipped as a god. Alright, let's keep reading here. It says, "The apostasy begun by Nimrod found its zenith in the lavish temples and huge pyramids dedicated to the sun god, where men offered animal and human sacrifices. Alexander Hislop writes about the origin of sun worship as follows: "The beginning, then, of sun worship and of the worship of the host of heaven, astrology, was a sin against the light, against the true God himself, a presumptuous, heaven-daring sin. As the sun in the heavens was the great object of worship, so fire was worshipped as his earthly representative." So, that's why Nimrod became known as fire god. Because fire represented the sun, and they worship him as the sun god or fire god. let's see here. It says, the apostasy begun by Nimrod found its zenith in the lavish temples and huge pyramids dedicated to the sun god. So, all your pyramids and huge temples of ancient times were dedicated to the sun god. And there they will offer animal and human sacrifices. If y'all seen the movie, what movie was that? Apocalypto. You see that the Mayans, they were on the top of their pyramid, they're doing human sacrifices to the sun god. Alright, so that all started with Nimrod in ancient Babylon. And if you do the research, you will see that all the modern day, the major pagan religions originate or can find their origins in ancient Babylon, starting with Nimrod. Alright, let's see here. Let's see. This paragraph says, the worship of the sun has a long and daring history, dating from prehistoric times to the close of the 5th century of the Christian era. Together with all of its mystical rituals and sacrifices, it spread from Mother Babylon to Egypt, Greece, Rome, Europe, India, China, all of Southeast Asia, Africa, and Central and South America, the entire world. All of these civilizations had highly developed forms of sun worship. The belief in and practice of astrology was predominant in sun worship. So throughout history, throughout the whole entire world, you see that they began to, or they worshiped the sun, and that all started with Mother Babylon and Nimrod and his wife. All right, let's continue reading. Let's get to Rome and Constantine. Let's see. This paragraph says, it was the Roman Emperor Constantine who first issued an edict concerning Sunday in AD 321. This quote says, "Let all the judges and town people and the occupation of all trades rest on the venerable day of the sun, but let those who are situated in the country freely and at full liberty attend to the business of agriculture, because it often happens that no other day is so fit for sowing corn and planting vines, lest the critical moment being let slip, men should lose the commodities granted them by heaven." So, the Emperor Constantine stated that everybody should rest. Everybody in his town should rest on Sunday, which he called the day of the sun. And he says, but let everybody else that deal in agriculture, continue to work and do their things. Now, as I just read in the Book of Jubilees and in the Bible, we're supposed to rest from that day. Nobody is to do any work. So he instituted Sunday as the day of worship, but he went against the Most High by stating that everybody that dealt in agriculture continued to do their work, which is completely against the Bible. All right, let's continue reading. It says, this pagan Sunday law was henceforth reinforced as a Christian festival. The church historian Eusebius, in his commentary on the Psalms, indicates that from the time of Constantine's Sunday edict, the sanctity of the Sabbath was transferred to the first day of the week. And he quotes, "And all things whatsoever that it was duty to do on the Sabbath, these we have transferred to the Lord's day, Sunday, as more appropriately belong to it, because it has a precedence, and is first in rank and more honorable than the Jewish Sabbath." Now, he said the Jewish Sabbath, which isn't the Jewish Sabbath; it's the Hebrew Israelite Sabbath. So So he said that they move. Let's see. It says that whatsoever that it was duty to do on the Sabbath, these we transferred to the Lord's Day Sunday. So everything that was done on the Sabbath day, they instituted to transfer it to Sunday, which is the first day of the week, and not the seventh day of the week, which the Most High had ordained. And they claimed that Sunday was more honorable and was first in rank to the day that the Most High sanctified. All right. Let's see this last sentence here. It says, "To this day, the Roman Catholic Church pontifically claims that it had the authority to change God's fourth commandment and transfer the solemnity of the seventh day Sabbath to Sunday, the first day of the week." So they claim that they have authority to do this. They claim that they have authority to change the law of the Most High. But they're not even the people of the Bible. So if they're not the people of the Bible, what gives them the right to change what is written in the Bible? Alright? And as I have read earlier in Leviticus 23 and 21, he said that that should be a statute for us forever, throughout our generations. And in Malachi 3 and 6, the Most High said that He never changes. Alright. So now that we got the history of Sunday worship, let's get back to the Bible. Let's go to Colossians chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2, verse 8. See what it says about following after man's traditions. Alright, it says, Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ." So we have a warning to beware that people trick us into following after their traditions, after the traditions of men. We have been tricked to do so today. But I'm coming to you today to bring forth the truth of the matter. All right, let's go to Leviticus chapter 18 and see what the Most High says about following after the traditions of these other nations. All right, Leviticus chapter 18. Let's see, start at verse 3. It says, "After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Most High your power. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Most High your power." Alright, so he told us not to follow after the ways of the Egyptians or of the Canaanites. And as I read in that article, that the Egyptians they dealt with sun worship that they got from ancient Babylon. Alright, so the Most High told us not to do after them, but to keep His judgments and His ordinances. Alright, now let's go to get another precept on that. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 12. Start at verse 29. And it reads, "When the Most High thy power shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou seatest them and dwellest in their land, take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed." Let me start over. Verse 30. "Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed. from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, How did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Most High thy power. For every abomination to the Most High, which he hated, have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. What things soever I command you, observe to do. Thou shalt not add thereunto, nor diminish from it. So the Most High told us not to look at the way that these other nations serve their God and worship him the same way. And we said that everything that they're doing to their gods is an abomination to him. As I read in their article, that they went into their temples and they sacrificed humans and animals to the sun god. And I just read here in Deuteronomy 12:31 that they even that even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. So they burnt their sons and their daughters to their gods. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters to their gods. The Most High told us not to do so. But more importantly, he told us not to worship him the way that they worship their gods. So on Sunday, they worship their gods. So the Most High told us not to worship him on Sunday. Alright. Hope I'm getting my point across here. Bringing forth understanding on Sunday and the Most High Sabbath. Alright, so people, they try to justify, a lot of Christians, they try to justify worshiping on Sabbath. Worshiping on Sunday. They say that Sabbath is done away with, that Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. Alright? Which Christ, Yeshua, is. But let's get a little bit of understanding on it. So let's go to Matthew chapter 12. Starting at verse 1. And it says, At that time Yeshua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did, when he was an hungered, and they that were with him, and how he entered into the house of the Most High, and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only the priests. So, Christ and the disciples, they were hungry that day. It was a Sabbath day, and they decided to go get them something to eat. They started to pluck ears of corn and started to eat the corn. And the Pharisees, they were sitting around, just what seems like they're sitting around waiting to catch somebody breaking the Sabbath. And they saw the disciples plucking corn and eating it. They came to Christ and told him that they're breaking the law. But he's showing them grace. He showed them two examples of grace in the Old Testament. He showed them an example of when David and his warriors were in battle, and they were hungry, and they needed some nourishment for their bodies, so that they can continue working for the Most High, or continue fighting for the Most High. He showed them an example of them eating the showbread, which was only permitted to the priest. And if you read back in the Old Testament in the law, that if anybody else ate of the showbread besides the priest, then they would be put to death for doing so. But Christ was showing them the grace of the Most High by showing them that David and the people that were with him did eat of the showbread and nothing happened to them. But because if David would have died, then where would Christ be? He is the seed of David. Alright? And it said, he gave another example. Let's read here in verse 5. It says, Have ye not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days The priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless. So he gave him another example of how the priests would do all the priestly duties, the sacrifices and everything on the Sabbath day. They worked on the Sabbath, so why come? They're not, condemning them. All right, that's what he's asking them. All right, verse 6, it says, "But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple." So he's saying that in this place right here where we're standing, I'm standing right before you. I'm greater than this temple. I came to sacrifice myself for you. And he says right here in verse 7, "But if ye had known what this meaneth, I would have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day." All right, so he's saying that if they would have recognized who he was, then they would know that what he's come to do. They would know that he came to sacrifice and that they no longer have to sacrifice. He would show mercy on them, but they continue to want to follow after every law of Moses, including the sacrifices. But Christ is telling them that one day those sacrifices won't do you any good, because I'm the sacrifice. You have to come through me. All right, it says, "For I am Lord even of the Sabbath day." That verse right there, that should solidify that Christians should be following the Sabbath. Because he said, "I am Lord even of the Sabbath day." He didn't say that the Sabbath was done away with. Nowhere in those verses did he say that the Sabbath is done away with. He said that he is the Lord of the Sabbath. So therefore we should keep the Sabbath and follow the Sabbath, because he is our sacrifice for the Sabbath. All right. Let's pick up in verse 9. It says, "And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? And that they might accuse him." So, they coming to him again, taunting him, saying, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? Is it lawful to do that?" So he says, and he said unto them, verse 11, "And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay on it and lift it out?" So he's saying, all right, so if one of y'all have a sheep or something that fall in a pit, wouldn't y'all get it out? Because back then the sheep, that was their livelihood. That's how they made their money. If one of the sheep fell in the ditch, and they left it there, then a wolf or something would come and get it, and then they would lose their money. All right, so Christ is telling them, wouldn't y'all work to get that sheep out of the pit? It's showing to them that their money is more important. It says right here in verse 12, "How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days." So he's saying that the man is greater than those sheep. If we see one of our brothers in need on the Sabbath day, we're not supposed to turn our back on him. We're supposed to help him regardless of it being the Sabbath. He's showing us that we have grace to do good on the Sabbath. It is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. To give an example, if you're out street preaching, or at a holy convocation, a gathering with your brothers and sisters worshiping the Most High, and you see somebody that is in need of something, then it is lawful to go and help that person. If they're hungry and you don't have any food prepared for them to eat right then you can go. It's lawful for you to go and purchase something for them to eat. Or you see that they need something to wear, or some shoes or something. If you're not willing to give them the clothes off your back, then it's lawful for you to go and purchase them something to wear. It's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. All right. So that's the understanding of the Sabbath today. We have grace on the Sabbath day to do good. All right. So let's see here. Because Christ said that He came to do the will of the Most High, the will of Him that sent Him. He didn't come to do His own will. He didn't come to do away with anything. Let's go ahead and read in John 6:38 and get that. He said, "For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of Him that sent me." So He came to do the will of the Father. So He didn't come to establish His own laws and statutes. He came to do what the Most High had established. All right. And to get that understanding, let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Let's break this down. All right, Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. This is Christ talking. He said, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." So He said that He didn't come to do away with the law or the prophets, but He came to fulfill. Now, a lot of Christians may say that, He came to fulfill, so it's done away with. But fulfill doesn't mean that it's done away with. He said He came to fulfill that it was prophesied for Him to do. He came to fulfill all those things. And He came to fulfill the sacrifice of the Old Testament. So He is the sacrifice. So we no longer have to sacrifice anymore. He came to fulfill what the prophets said about Him. Alright, it says in verse 18, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." So He said that as long as heaven and earth is here, then nothing from the law should be done away with until everything has been completed. Verse 19, it says, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." So He said if we're teaching people to break these commandments, then we're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. So we should be teaching people to keep the commandments. Alright, verse 20 says, "For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." So the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, their righteousness was following the law and keeping those sacrifices and doing all those sacrifices. And He said that our righteousness should exceed theirs. So we're supposed to keep the law, but we exceed their righteousness by believing and accepting Christ as our sacrifice. So that's how we're supposed to exceed their righteousness. All right, we have a little bit of understanding on that. Let's go to another scripture to get a little bit of understanding of why many people say that Sunday worship, or it's okay to break the Sabbath and worship on Sunday now. First I want to set the scene. So let's go to Luke chapter 22. Let's start at verse 1. And it says, Luke 22:1. "Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover. And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them. And they were glad and covenanted to give him money. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude." See, so they were scared of the people. No, they wanted to arrest Christ and kill him pretty much. But no, they were scared of the multitude, because they knew that if they did that, then everybody else would go against them, and they didn't want that. So they sought an opportunity through Judas to capture Christ when everybody else wasn't around. Let's pick up in verse 7. It says, "Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat." All right. So right here in verse 7 it says, "Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed." All right. So with that understanding, we understand that the Passover must be sacrificed on the day of unleavened bread. All right. Let's get an understanding of when the Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread is. Let's go to Numbers chapter 28. Let's start at verse 16. And it says, "And in the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the Most High. And in the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten." So we see that the 14th day, that's the second Sabbath of that month. Because you got the 7th day, that's the Sabbath. And then that 14th day, that's the Sabbath, which is Saturday, as we've already established earlier in this lesson. So the 14th day was the Passover, which is a Saturday. And then the Feast of Unleavened Bread is on the 15th day, the day after that, which would make it a Sunday. So they would kill the Passover on Sunday, on the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And let's jump down to verse 22, and it says, "And one goat for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you." Let's read verse 18. And it says, "And the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no manner of servile work therein, but ye shall offer a sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering unto the Most High." All right. So on that first day, the Feast of Unleavened Bread is when they did the sacrifice to atone for their sins, to make an atonement for them. All right. So with the understanding that the Passover was that Saturday, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread was the following Sunday, in which they did the sacrifice. But we understand that if you read through the Gospel, you will see that Christ was crucified the day after the Passover, which was that Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's one of the things that he said he fulfilled. That sacrifice. He fulfilled the atonement for our sins. So he is that sacrifice for us on that day, on the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So with the understanding that he was captured that Sunday or that Saturday night and was crucified the next day, Sunday. Let's see here. Let's go to Matthew chapter 28, verse 1. Because a lot of people say that we worship on Sunday now because Christ rose on Sunday. So now that's the Lord's Day. But with everything I just stated, he was captured on Saturday night, and crucified on Sunday. And he rose 3 days later, which would make it Wednesday. So he couldn't have risen on Sunday. Alright? I hope y'all understand that. Let's go to Matthew 28, start at verse 1. And it says, "In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre." Alright, so it says, "In the end of the Sabbath," with the understanding that all the feast days, the 7th day of the week is called the Sabbath, and the feast days are called a Sabbath. So, that Passover, which was that Saturday, that was the Sabbath, and the day after that was also the Sabbath, because it was the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So this should really be saying after the Sabbath and not at the end of the Sabbath. And it says, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week. So with understanding that the first day of the week is Sunday, but Christ was crucified on Sunday, so how could he have risen that day, the first day of the week, if he was crucified on the first day of the week? So doing a little process of critical thinking, you would understand that that was most likely injected into the scriptures. That should not be there. The first day of the week should not be there. And if you have a King James Version Bible, you will see that day is italicized, which indicates that word was added there. So first day of the week should really should not be there. All right, and I'm going to do a little bit more studying to see what it really should have said. Unfortunately, I don't really know that right now, but I do know that was injected and that should not be there. All right, in verse 2 it says, "And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Most High descended from heaven, and came and rolled back the stone from the door, and sat upon it. And his countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake, and became as dead men." The guards, but by the temple or by the grave, they were so scared that they fainted. And alright, it says, "And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Yeshua, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come see the place where the Lord lay." All right, so even if Christ did rise on Sunday, right here in verse 6, the angel told the Marys that he was not there. So even if he did rise on Sunday, the angel said that he wasn't there on Sunday. So that would indicate that he actually rose. That he didn't rise on Sunday. That he rose because he was already gone when they got there. As you read in verse 1, it says that it was dawning toward that day. So he could not have risen on Sunday, even if he did rise, even if this was the first day of the week. So doing a little process of elimination and critical thinking, you will understand that he did not rise on Sunday. All right. Now let's go to a Colossians, because a lot of people may claim that you can't judge me for not following the Sabbath. We have grace now. You can't judge me anymore. Let's see why they say that. Let's go to Colossians chapter 2 verse 16. And it says, "Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or on the Sabbath days." So they go there and say that just because I'm not following the Sabbath, you can't judge me, when they have no understanding of what judging actually is. Let's go to Numbers chapter 15. And let's start at verse 32. Numbers 15 and 32. And it says, "And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron, and unto all the congregation. And they put him inward, because it was not declared what should be done to him. And the Most High said unto Moses, The man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the count. And all the congregation brought him without the count, and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Most High commanded Moses." So as you see here, for breaking the Sabbath, you were given the judgment of death. That is what judgment truly is. We no longer can put people to death anymore. We're not under the bondage of the law like that anymore. So because we have grace, and just because we have grace, we should not let sin abound, as Paul said in Romans. Just because we have grace, then there's no excuse to break the laws. We have to understand that what grace truly is. Grace is giving us time to get it right. Give an example. Say you got a light bill or something due. You ask for a grace period. They give you a little bit of time to get the money to pay that bill, but that doesn't mean that you're exempt from paying that bill. You just have time to pay that bill. You have a little bit more time to pay that bill before they cut the lights off. So before we are judged, the Most High is giving us grace. He's giving us time to get it right before we are cast into the lake of fire. Alright, so that's the true understanding of grace. Alright, and as I just said in Malachi chapter 3 verse 6, the Most High says that He never changed. And in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 8, it says that Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So Christ and the Most High, they never changed. These laws and statutes and commandments still stand. Alright. So to close this off, let's get some scriptures to see when Paul and the disciples, when did they gather to preach? Let's go to Acts chapter 13. Start at verse 42. And it says, "And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. So they preached on the Sabbath, and the Gentiles were waiting for the next Sabbath so that they can hear the words of Paul and Barnabas." Alright, and it says, "Now the congregation was broken up. Many of the Jews and the religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. And the next Sabbath day came, almost the whole city together to hear the word of the Most High." So the next Sabbath, almost the whole city came to hear Paul and Barnabas preach. Alright, so Paul and Barnabas preached on the Sabbath. And that was after Christ was dead and gone. After He was crucified and resurrected. Let's get another example. Let's get Acts 18:4. And it says, "And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath, and persuaded the Jews and Greeks." So Paul preached on the Sabbath day after Christ was crucified and resurrected. So we too today are supposed to continue to preach and worship on the Sabbath day and not Sunday, which is sun worship. When you read worshiping on Sunday, that's what you're really doing. You're worshiping the sun. You can say what you want. And the Most High know my heart. God know my heart and all that. But He told us not to follow the ways of the heathen, not to worship Him the way that they worship their gods. And they worship their gods on Sunday. And He told us to worship Him on Saturday. Alright. So that concludes the lesson. I hope what I've said has brought forth some understanding on the Sabbath and what we're supposed to do when the Sabbath truly is, and show you some history on Sunday, which is sun worship, and to get you from following sun worship and to follow the Most High. Alright, so I want to thank the Most High for this lesson. Thank Him for you for listening to me teach this lesson, and thank you to those that have stuck with me through the whole lesson. I may be a little dry, but this is how I am. the Most High just put it on my heart to teach these lessons, and that's what I'm doing. If you have any questions, or if you want to get in contact with me, or if you, I can also give y'all a copy of this article here that I just read to y'all about the history of Sun worship or Sunday worship. You can email me at gatherersoftheelect@gmail.com. It's GATHERERS of the elect at yahoo.com. I'm sorry. Gatherers of the elect at yahoo.com, not Gmail. And you can also visit the church that I've learned from, because I want to thank those brothers, the Gathering of Christ Church. You can also visit their website at gatheringofchrist.org, because they have a lot of good information, dealing with the scriptures, dealing with who the true Israelites are, and how to truly follow the Most High. So once again, I want to thank y'all for listening to me, and thank the Most High. Hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. Shalom.